Hello everyone, welcome back to Old Soul Yoga. Today we have a little down dog flow. So we're going to work the whole length of our spine and practice our downward facing dog. So I have two blocks, little mismatch blocks. This one has toddler teeth marks and a ton of little pencil jabs in it. So honestly, just grab what you have. It's all good. I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to stack them at the back of my mat, and I'm going to create a little throne. So you can kind of stack them between your feet here, maybe one or two, doesn't matter. I'm just trying to find a nice comfy seat. So when you get here, blocks or no blocks, I just want you to find this nice tall straight spine. Let the elbows just hang below the shoulders, and let's take a big breath in together. Side out. Let the shoulders relax down, in through the nose. Side out. Beautiful. One more, just like that, in through the nose. Let it go. Beautiful. So we're going to start today just by rolling through the wrists. So get a little fist going here. Hold your arms out about 30 degrees and just begin to make some small circles with your wrists. Keeping going with those full body breaths, both directions here with your wrists, one way and then the other. Awesome. Take your left fingertips to the mat and up and over on the right side. Big breath. And then we're going to wind that around to the right side, reaching through the fingertips, full body breath. Great job. And then right back here to center. We're going to reach behind our back and take a bind. Now, you can thread the fingers together and pull them down the back body, or you can just gently grab opposite elbows here. So we're here together, or we're here. Notice how your shoulders are going to roll back, and you're going to just pull the belly in, create a little stability here in the core, and then I'm going to lift through the chin, big breath in through the nose. Breathing right into the chest and opening up the space between the collarbones and the shoulders. One more, inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Bring your head back over your heart. Undo that bind, shake it off. And we're going to come forward here, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the knees over the hips. Great job. Nice long neutral spine. Take one big breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to create a little flow here, following the pace of your breath. Inhale, lift the chin, lift the heart. Exhale, pull the belly button up towards the spine. Cat, cow. So we're just kind of warming up here. Inhale to lift and expand. Exhale, pull the belly button up and let the head just hang forward. If it feels okay to close your eyes here as you're creating this flow, you can do that. So good to be back on the mat together. Just got my kids off to school, first week of school here, all 6 kids. I have 3 in high school, 1 in middle school, and 2 in elementary school this year. That's 6 kids. If you don't know me, I have 6 children. Keeps life very interesting. Let's take 2 more rounds here of cat-cow. Again, just marrying your breath to the movement. Inhale to open up. Exhale, arching through the upper back body. Great job. Beautiful. Coming back to that neutral spine, you're going to tuck your toes under here and then send the hips back to your little block throne. If this is too much with your toes tucked, you can untuck them. We're just going to sit back for a second, roll through the wrists. We're going to spend a little time on our wrists today, so I just wanted to create this nice comfy seat where we could return, shake it off, give our joints a break. Beautiful. All right, first downward dog. I'm going to bring my arms out a little wide, wider than my yoga mat and ahead of my shoulders here. So I'm not in tabletop where my shoulders are stacked under my wrists. My toes are tucked under. When you're ready, just send those hips up high and let the head be nice and heavy. In through the nose, side out. Beautiful. We're just going to gently bend our knees, start pedaling out, stretching through the backs of our legs. Connecting with our breath, in and out through the nose. Great job. You can go ahead and bring your knees back down to the mat. Go ahead, sit back on your blocks here. And just for a minute, I'm going to show you a little something about down dog. So when our hands are placed here, our hips go up high. Here's the shape of down dog, but I want you to press away from the mat. Notice how my hips go up and back and my head melts between my shoulders. So we often come into this shape here, but there's a little more depth when we press away from the mat. Hips are going to go up and back. Getting that length here from the hip to the heel, stretching through the hamstrings. So I'm going to meet you back here on your block. Great. Okay, so meet me back. Hands are nice and wide, toes are tucked. Send those hips up nice and high. Notice that your jaw's not clenched. Tongue just rests here on the roof of your mouth. I'm going to press away from the mat as I inhale. Exhale, sink into the heels. Let the head be nice and heavy. Beautiful. I'm going to nod my head no and yes. Just making sure my neck is nice and loose. Beautiful. One more breath, pressing your hands away from the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful job. Go ahead, come back down to your knees. Awesome. So we're going to stack again those shoulders over the wrists. I'm going to kind of come up into this little high plank just for a breath, and then I'm going to drop the knees back down. You can keep the toes tucked under here. We're going to create another little flow using this shape. So inhale, modified plank. Exhale, send the hips back. Keep those hands where they are. We're sending the hips back, melting the forehead down to the mat. Exhale all the way. Inhale, pull yourself up, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, send it back. Beautiful. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, send it back. So if you want to practice a little upper body strength as you come forward, you can give a little bend in your elbows and then send those hips up and back. Feeling that stretch in the shoulders. And keeping this connection with your core, just gently pulling the belly towards the spine as you come forward. And exhale, melt the forehead back. So follow the pace of your breath. Let's just take 2 more rounds. Inhale. Great job. I'll meet you here in extended child's pose, forehead on the mat. Let's take a big breath in, opening in the shoulders. Beautiful. And then you can sit yourself back here on your blocks. Whoa. Awesome. All right, next move I want you to make is I want us to move our right foot up to the top of our mat. So blocks can come with you for this little next section, bringing your blocks up to the top of the mat. And I just want you to step that right foot up, okay? Now, if that's really challenging for you, if you can't quite make that transition, you can come up all the way. There's no right or wrong. I just want you to meet me here with that right knee stacked over the right ankle. And notice on this back leg, I can move that knee back, stretching through the hip, or if that's too much, just move your knee right underneath your hip joint. And blocks are here to help us lift up from the mat. Pull the heart forward, stretching and opening up that left front hip. Big inhale. Exhale, great job. Wonderful. And I'm just gonna kind of rock myself up to the top of the mat, forward fold. First forward fold of the day. So feel free to just generously bend through the knees here. Allow the head to rest forward. Great job. Inhale, halfway lift. So straighten up through the legs, pull the crown forward, nice flat back. Exhale, melt yourself back down into your forward fold. Notice that you can still wave with your toes in your forward fold. Your hips are stacked over your heels and you're nice and rooted in the pads of your feet. One more breath in forward fold. Beautiful. I'm going to bring my hands to the floor or to the blocks, and this time I'm just going to step those right toes back. So bringing down that back knee, left over the right ankle. You can use your blocks, hands to the floor, pull the heart forward. Again, we're stretching through the front of this hip, and if this is too much, then you're just going to want to bring that knee right underneath the hip joint. So finding your stretch here. Placing your knee however it feels right for you. Let's take a big breath into the chest. Great job. I'm going to tuck those back toes under and rock myself to the front of the mat, forward fold. Maybe here in your forward fold, you want to grab those opposite elbows, head is relaxed forward. And if this works for you, you can find this gentle sway, opening up the lower quadrant of your back. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Rock yourself back to center, and again, here we go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt it down to the floor, and I'm going to step my feet back into that tabletop position. You can take your blocks back to the back where you had them to start with. Nice little block thrown here, and we're going to sit down again on our blocks. Nice and tall, lengthening in the spine. Big breath, nice big reach. And I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to float it down to my left thigh, gentle twist. Beautiful. Nice big reach back to center. Exhale, left hand floats to right thigh, gentle twist to the right. Just breathing down into the belly, twisting through the upper body, waking up those internal organs. Back to center, nice big reach. Beautiful. Exhale, hands are nice and wide, tuck the toes and send the hips up. Excuse me, down dog. Awesome. Go ahead, pedal it out, bending through the knees. In through the nose together. Head is heavy, sigh it out. Great job. Bring your knees back to the floor. This time I'm going to step my right foot up to the outside of my mat. So again, if you can't just swing your leg up here, you can kind of work yourself out of it, bringing your foot to the top of the mat, and hands are going to plant inside that right foot. Little lizard, little hip opener here. You can roll over, opening up that right hip a little bit deeper. And I'm going to take my left hand, stack it right underneath my shoulder, right fingertips reach forward, inhale up and back. Take your gaze with you. Beautiful. Swing that right hand back around. And again, we're going to tuck the back toes under, and we're going to step the left foot up to the outside of the mat, forward fold. You can straighten through the legs, bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Beautiful. Exhale, melt it down. We can use this wider base to grab those opposite elbows. Maybe try that gentle sway again. Beautiful. Let's take one more full body breath in your down or in your forward fold. And then swing yourself back to center. Awesome. Release your hands down here to the floor. And this time I'm going to step the right toes back, leaving that left foot to the outside of my mat. Great job. Settle that back foot in. And we're just going to be here. And remember, you can bring your blocks up for this lizard. You can always, blocks are awesome. They bring the floor up a little closer to you. So getting into this shape, if it's a little too much on your hips, then lift yourself up out of the hips a little bit by using your blocks. We have a little setting. I'm going to put mine on the lowest setting for this side, stacking my shoulder over my wrist, reaching through those left fingertips. Inhale, up and back. Great. Wonderful. Sweep that left hand back around to center. Tuck the back toes under and step yourself up to the outside of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Great job. Both hands are going to come to the mat. I'm going to come back down into my tabletop position. You can scoot your block back here. Block thrown. Great job. Let's take our hands nice and wide and send those hips up, down dog. Great. Press yourself away from the mat. Hips go nice and high. Head relaxes forward. Beautiful. And then come back down onto your knees. Sit yourself back on your blocks. All right, we're going to create one more little flow with our down dog. From here, you can just chill here for a second. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to come into my down dog, and I'm going to deeply bend through that right knee. Take my gaze under my left arm. Beautiful. Deeply bend that left knee. Take your gaze under the right arm. So it's kind of like this, right? Beautiful. So here we are together. Let's take one big breath. And then go ahead, send those arms forward, tuck the toes. Notice again that you're not clenching through your jaw, head is relaxed forward. And then go ahead, alternate bending knees, taking your gaze underneath the arm, that opposite arm. So if you're kind of here over the top of your shoulder, see if you can send those hips back, pressing through your hands. In and out through the nose.
And notice where you're really feeling this the most. Is it in your hip? Is it in your back? Down your hamstrings? Challenging ourselves a little here to build our upper body strength. Let's keep this going for one big inhale through the nose. Exhale. Great job. Back to center, nice and still. Let the heels get heavy. A little heat building in the body, in through the nose together. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Beautiful. I'm going to come back down onto my knees, sit myself back on my block throne, coming here to this nice long straight spine. Let those left fingertips hit the floor, up and over to the left side, and then take it to the right. Beautiful, and then right back here to center. I'm gonna flip myself around here just so I can see you all. Thank you so much for joining me today in this gentle stretch out, practicing our down dog. The love and the light in me sees and honors the love and light in each of you. Namaste.